It's the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you into Paycor Stadium on the riverfront here in Cincinnati.
Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Cincinnati.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Throwing on the first play from scrimmage, here's Burrow.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Brown. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
So pass interference to call. That's going to set him up with a first down.
And if it's a bang-bang play, maybe the flag stays in. He definitely impeded the receiver's right to catch the football. Game's going to be called here in the first quarter.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Now a short one to Gesicki.
Just a gain of a couple there. And that will bring up second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd down and 8. Now Burrow. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From midfield now, Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a short one to Gesicki. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
Now 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Burrow. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good.
And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0.
Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put them in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
First carry for DeAndre Swift.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the two defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers, and if the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's second down and 5.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
That is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10. To the air, Williams. A pass complete to Odunze.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 25-yard line.
A lot of great quarterbacks from USC. Here's another one. The rookie's got a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Looking to throw is Williams.
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game, and nice pass there, and now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
One more time with Swift.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
DeAndre Swift
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Bears have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Back to throw here. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. And they go play action now. Burrow out to the left. He's got Sample there. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
And Chase will go in motion left.
Now it's Burrow. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
To the air again, Burrow.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Burrow looking to pass.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now it's Burrow. That's complete to the tight end Sample. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They're passing here. Joe Burrow
able to find the open man. That's complete. Coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Again, it's Burrow. And it's caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Brown diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
Two good drives on their first two possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wind up punching this one into the end zone.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT.
And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
His throw incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
On play action, here's Williams. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
Here comes the Bears punter now.
Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Dayo Odeyingbo.
Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. In motion goes the tight end. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Burrow.
Got a man open. It's Chase.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Bears take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Throwing is Williams. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
To throw, Williams.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. That one goes for 8 yards.
Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Swift going to try up the middle.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
Here's Williams.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will knot us up at 10. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
Yeah, Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Burrow on play action.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one, because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And Burrow going to throw again.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Play action. It's Burrow. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
In the backfield by himself is Brown, 2nd and goal. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And this will be incomplete.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
And now 3rd and goal following incompletions on 1st and 2nd down.
Now Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the left hash, a chip shot here.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they will take the lead at 13-10.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams.
And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 more on that one and another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
To throw, it's Williams.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 23. That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
To the air, Williams. He's going to get that to Swift underneath.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Looking to throw is Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Williams going to look to throw again.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Caleb Williams.
A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Bears will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits are on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Open man is Yoshivas.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They're passing here. Joe Burrow.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
To the air again, Burrow.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Burrow.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that'll bring him back within a point. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Bears going to get one more possession in this first half. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. A final shot before break. Williams. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now Williams. A final shot before break. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield. Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Williams.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10
at their own 26.
They defer to Brown to start the drive. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
3rd and 2.
They go play action with Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion.
From the gun, here's Swift.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
88 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here's Williams. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's a handoff to Swift.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On the handoff, this is Swift.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
To throw, Williams. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 15-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 on this drive, but this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Now a give right side Swift.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Off the bootleg, it's Williams.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
3rd down and 13. Looking to throw. Williams. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Now it's Burrow. Here's Higgins out of the right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 4. And Chase will go in motion left. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This one complete to Yoshivas. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
Burrow will throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. And Burrow going to throw again. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jamar Chase on the touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that gives him a 3-point lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see.
When you see those RPOs run, you need the first man to attack and be a disruptor. And on that play, he closed down fast and helped knock it away.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Here's Swift. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run here with Swift. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. So 2nd and 10, third quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now Burrow. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The third down conversion successful. A gain of 11. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. From the 44.
Burrow. Open man is Chase, complete.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, They don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll send the slot in motion left.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete.
And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
In motion, the tight end. They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it's 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They'll set up a throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Andre Yoshivas
From 6 yards away.
And the Bengals are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Onto the field now come the Bears.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. They'll start on the ground with Swift.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 1. They'll go play action here with Williams.
Over the middle, it's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 39. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
121 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
To the air, Williams.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Play action. Now Williams. That is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Back to the running game with Swift.
And able to work his way down to the 16.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 3rd down, here comes Swift.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
Santos' kick is up and through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow.
Open man is Yoshivas.
So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd down and 3.
An inside give, Brown. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ball game now, and he's got a first down.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second and third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 more there and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. This is Brown going up the middle.
Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Mike Gesicki, 30 yards.
And the Bengals have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So now the Bears down by 2 touchdowns, 2:14 to play. They have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but they need 2 scores.
To throw, it's Williams.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
Looking to throw is Williams. Able to find Komet.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Here's 1st and 10. Williams going to look to throw again.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics would tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I